Hey Gemini. I had a bit of an SOS. I hadn't really been considered doing any readings. The rest of this week, I've got like a whole kickoff launch thing going with my photography business. So I was putting down the cards for a hot minute and I was doing a reading for myself because I read for myself every day. And this came out and I was just like, I have to share it. And then this whole like flood of downloads came in and I don't know. Oh, and now I'm just thinking of it because I'm like, I know this can't be me. I know this has to be a collective Gemini reading. It's not just for me. Because first of all, I don't have any tarot here on the board. I was just using, I was actually using, it's so interesting. I was using the shamanic deck to actually, I have a, you can see it over here. It's on the wall of my Airbnb. It's my list of like, it's my hit list. It's actually called my hit list for the people that I need to contact to market my services to. And I was just like really in this, it wasn't a rut. It was just like I had slept. I'd finally like caught up. I finally settled down and I was like, okay, it's time to get to work. Cause like I've got like a 2-week window where I've got to get some shit started. And I already have like the back end, but now it's kind of the front end and that's making me nervous. And so I just really like spent some time like actually just really itching and I say itching, but now it makes a lot more sense. And it makes more sense now even more that it's Gemini because Mercury station retrograde and is picking speed up in the right direction, right? That's why I feel so antsy. I was doing like push-ups today and like not even kidding. I've been doing those every day, but like I've just been so antsy and I blew out my hair so I could do some like resume videos, like welcome videos and stuff like that for the business. And so as soon as, I mean, San Antonio is like 93% humidity. So as soon as I go out there, it just spirals up, which is great and everything like that. But a lot of people don't take me seriously and they think I'm a lot younger when my hair is spiraled out. So I like to blow it out every once in a while, especially when I'm doing my own brand photography shooting, you know. So anyways, I digress. So I went ahead and I was pulling cards for a whole nother thing. And then I just asked, I was like, am I on the right path? Like, am I doing the right thing here? Like, is it going, like, is it, I feel like I was in a time warp this whole past Mercury retrograde. It's just felt so, I was like focus, 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 and like dialed in. And then the full moon happened and Cappy, and then it was just kind of like, no offense, but I kind of blew my wad. I was just like, okay, I'm done. Right? And I'm not done, but like, no, I mean, I slept and I slept and I ate and I slept and I ate. And then I finally woke up this morning and I was like, yeah, time to, and I did all the physical things that I had on my to-do list. And I definitely went down the rabbit holes of most of the stuff that I had on my to-do list. And I got to the hair part. But then I was like writing scripts, like I'm trying to do everything. I'm really learning my lessons from Saturn, and it's like if you're gonna do it once, do it right, right? And that's just not my. I was always the kid that like managed to pass the test without studying, you know, except for looking at it for 5 minutes before the test. And Saturn doesn't like that. And I am right back. Not, I wouldn't say right back in a situation, but I am forward. There's something coming up that came up last year at this almost the same amount. Well, I say this amount of time, but it's a couple of, you know, depending on the astrology. But at this point in time with the astrology, how it was last year, it's pretty much the same timing as it is this year. And I can see it. I'm like, okay, Saturn, I learned my lessons. I'm going to push through my self-sabotage, you know, in ways and not wanting to burn out and asking better questions, right? And so I was just like, but it's just, I kind of been all over the place the past 3 days, I would say. And it makes more sense now that I'm talking to you and I'm actually like tuning into the collective versus just doing the whole like, you know, I'm sorry, my hair's driving me nuts, photography side. Because that's just all I've been doing. And so, you know, even though I may not be, you know, accepting readings or anything like that right now, I still pull the cards for myself, like, daily, hourly. And you know, it's not, yeah, as most of you know, I work mostly with animal decks, but the shamanic deck, it's a hardcore deck. And so I was like, okay, like, what is the result? What do you want me to know? And I mean, this card came out, which is the corn. The corn is representative to me with my own personal lexicon, with my, you know, spirit entourage and team, is it's time to pick the corn off the stalks. Like, you've done everything you can do. It is laden, it is heavy. The fruit, pick the, I've got the name of this on my hand, I couldn't find a piece of paper. It's time, it's ripe for the picking. And last year at this time, I just thought something or someone or some job or something like that was going to save me, right? And this time, even though it feels like slow going, I realized that I'm saving myself. And I've got like like today I was like, okay, what are the things that I need to do that are going to, you know, long term, what do I need to work on? Short term, what's going to put dollars in the pocket? And midterm, you know, also I want to stick to my heart, and all of these projects are my heart. But what is my best time? You know, I like expediency and immediacy, and if that's even a word, I don't think it is. Perhaps it is. Anyways, I don't want to get distracted. And efficiency, right? I mean, that's the Cappy in me. Let's do this in the shortest amount of time, make the most amount of money with the least amount of bullshit, right? Pardon me. So the corn was just like, it's everything, right? It's saying that, no, you've done it. You've sowed the seeds and you've watered it and you did everything you needed to do, and it is time to pick. And then the card that was on the bottom, it's making me emotional, is Vision Quest. It's like, it's time to, like, I mean, I look at the visuals, right? I learned how to read by so many gifted psychics, right? And so everything that my personal lexicon is an amalgamation, I've been wanting to use that word for a while, of all of the thousands of readings that I've done for myself and for other people. I've been on the road for a full year now doing this full time. And you know, I have trust in my cards. And then my cards were taken away from me, and I have trust in my gut. I don't need my cards. You know, I'm not saying I love my cards, so they're beautiful. So Vision Quest, I was like, okay, I think we're going to go deeper in this. And then all of a sudden the Serpent card. And this is like my duality Gemini card. And I think Geminis are feeling the most, or Geminis and Saggies, right? Because we just had that big ass eclipse, right? And like my South Node Saggy came out so hardcore. I even had Spirit say, now is not a time to be having any shenanigans toward this. And I was just like, where did that come from? It's been like 2 years since I've even thought about pulling something like that off. And it's that South Node movement along with the eclipse and the energy. And I mean, and I think the last one was, I don't know. I'm not an astrologer. I do follow it closely though. But degrees are too much like fractions to me, so I steer clear of that. Yeah, but I was just like, okay, I'm not the only one feeling this. And then I got this card out, and I knew, I was like, because this is duality, right? The Serpent. This is my Lover's card out of the Shamanic deck, which is by Colette Baron Reed and another dude. I don't have the box. I travel, so they're all kind of like amalgamated in one box. Oh, I used it twice, but that's a terrible use of that. And I don't think it's a real word or tense of it. Anyway, so I got this out and I was like, I think this is a Gemini reading. And so I was like, okay, so what am I doing right? Like, how am I, oh, that's what I asked. I said, how am I presenting? Like, all the work that I've done in the past month, how am I presenting? And I got the Holy Mountain, which I don't know if you can see this on here. There is a figure like doing an Om pose on the top, of the very tippy top. And there's the sun, and there's that like moon, like it's got this whole eclipse, but it's like excuse me, how am I presenting? And I was just like, what does that mean? Does it mean that I'm unattainable or unapproachable or what have you? And then I got the hunter card, and see, for me, when I was in real estate, one of the kind of like my mission statement was think like a farmer, but work like a hunter, right? If something is in front of you, if there's an opportunity in front of you, kill it and drag it back home and skin it and tan it and all that good stuff and dry it out for food for the winter. But plan like a farmer, think like a farmer. Plant those sows, sow those seeds, plant the seeds, reap the harvest, whatever it is. But farmers, it's not an immediate thing, right? They have to wait for the crops to come in. So there's planning, there's seasons to go by. They have the longevity. The hunter is like, it's right in front of me right now. So that's kind of just been one of my personal things. So I was like hunter, but also from my relationship with this deck and this particular card, the hunter can also mean chaos. And so I was just like, let's clarify that. I don't know if I want to clarify it, because like I am feeling all over the place, but I don't feel like that side of the hunter feeling. And so I went ahead and because I want to give you the whole order that this was in. I was like, okay, so how is the hunter showing up? Like what is the hunter about, asking for me? And it's now is a lucky time. This is my Jupiter card. This is my rabbit spirit. This is like the luckiest card in the deck. That's just saying like you are literally killing it. You may be killing the bunny, but you're killing it. Like you're doing it. You are thinking like the hunter. You are on top of things. Like that's my particular, affirmation, right? With that particular card and my particular language that I have with my deck and my guides. And so I thought that was super cool. And I was like, okay, well, will you clarify Holy Mountain? And this is the card I've been getting for like the last 6 weeks, probably 2 months, is Beaver Spirit, which is lay a solid foundation, right? It's a number 6. It's victorious. It's knitting away. I say knitting away because the beaver has little sticks that it knits with. But it's creating something solid. That's what beavers do when they have a dam, right? And you go to if you've ever seen a beaver dam, it's actually really cool. I mean, those things are freaking solid. Like they have to like excise the beaver sometimes because they build such things that it like blocks up. I mean, that's what it's a dam, right? But yeah, I mean, it's just like confirmation that I have built a firm foundation. Like talk about foundation, right? We have all this rock here. And this is when we talk about reading intuitively versus just reading from the book, right? And a lot of people get weirded out like, ooh, like channeling and this, that, and the other. It's like, no, it's just a stream of consciousness that comes through. Like I noticed that there was like for me, there was this, it's like, I can see it, but it's hard to, the way it came out, it looked like it was a mirroring of it on there. But now I'm looking at it with you looking at me, looking at it, it doesn't make any sense. So, do I have that list here? I have, okay, it's actually tacked up on the wall. And I, magic is one of the cards that I had, what do I need to focus on more? Is it Fiverr, putting myself on Fiverr? Do I need to focus on Daughter of Wind, Mara Bird Photography, or Mara Will Out? Those are 3 different brands with 3 different services that they offer, right? And so Magic came out, and I thought that she was just, being Magic, like answering the question. I was putting her back in the deck, and then it fell out again. And then I was doing this reading, and then she came out again. And it's just really cool to me because she came out and I was like, okay, so obviously I'm doing the right thing, getting back like on the horn with the Daughter of Wind channel and everything like that. And now I'm actually like recording a video. And so can you clarify that? And I got Lion Spirit, which is be generous of spirit. And that's what we do here as light workers, tarot readers, whatever it is that you call us or what have you. We are providing a service, but a lot of people don't understand how much energy it takes for the people that are going up there and doing this stuff for free for you. And I'm not saying that like, ooh, pay me or this, that, and the other. I've only gotten a couple of clients from YouTube, not very many. I only come up here because I want to share. It's not because, I mean, at some point in time, maybe it'll make me some money and that's great. But I get in the mode and I want to share with the collective because other psychics before me have come up on here and done the same for me, and now I'm doing what I do, which I love. So yeah, so be generous of spirit, and right. And I was just listening to, I hadn't listened to anything by Tony Robbins in a while, and he just recorded it about 2 weeks ago, and it was just talking about like post-pandemic, like just kind of getting like, if you've got momentum going, just keep going. Like, it's like a slow start, but just keep going. And it was just so nice. It was like a familiar voice, a balm, if you will, to hear his voice. And, you know, when he talks about whenever you're down or whenever you're confused or you don't know what you can offer or whatever it is, or maybe you're feeling slightly selfish, whatever it is, he was like, just reach out and do something for someone else. And this is the way I can contribute. And I'm not saying this is like a pity reading or anything like that. I'm just saying it's like, get out of your head and give. Go out and do something that's not of yourself. And it just really hit home that sometimes, you know, especially with this, you know, I have 5 planets that are ruled by Mercury. So retrogrades really affect me just like in the headspace. And so for me, I feel like it's kind of like, you know, when the like the mix master DJ that's like with a record, and it's like, and he like does the wicca thing or whatever, and then like turns it around and it goes back forward. I feel like I'm kind of like in that loop, that in between right there. In fact, I got flamingo spirit a couple of times. That's embrace the in between. And then I keep getting antelope spirit, which is a number 2, first of all, right? So like, get ready for a sprint and life is speeding up. So I know I'm kind of in the middle, but I feel it like mentally, because I was just like, so for me, retrogrades are a place where you can like really build up some momentum. You know, the electronics might go a little crazy, but I don't know. And I don't know if that's for everybody. I know it is for me. I know it is for most of the readers that I watch. They have issues with like primarily and with their speech. But anyways, I digress. So the last card that I got, well, the card that was on the bottom, right? The overall spirit, pardon me. Was Beauty Way. I mean, first of all, talk about a gorgeous card. And I kind of have it. Oh, excuse me. Sorry about that. I got a new little setup here. But I'm still like using the crappy camera on the back of the camera. Like, I don't trust it to focus on me if I turn it forward. Anyways, look at this Beauty Way card. How gorgeous is that? Oh, there it is. That's what I was talking about. The mirroring of the beaver and the stand, the Holy Mountain card. And then I had another mirroring. I say a mirroring, but I felt this just feels like it's this dragonfly that's up here. It feels like it's a, what do you call it? Like when it's under a microscope, that it's, yeah, I just feel like that is that. And it's like inserted itself in magic. This is one of my favorite cards, actually. One of the readers that I've kind of really gotten a lot of my style from would be Santero, and this is a card of like warning for her, and it's just evolved for me. Like, I mean, I used to be the person that like if I saw a tower card, I would like run screaming and kicking, or if I saw a snake card, because I was terrified of snakes like for 40 years. And now I see it as such a creative, like beautiful, like protective, sensitive spirit. But like when I first started getting into this, like I started checking myself, like, what is the fear? And like the fear really went back to, you know, growing up in the church where they say that, you know, the snake was the snake in the tree. That, I mean, it really went down to a little kid, like, I'm scared of snakes because they represent Satan. And now I laugh at it. I'm sorry if I'm offending anybody right now, but it's just so asinine to me now. But at the, you know, for 99.9% of my life, that's what was true for me. So I do laugh at it. But yeah, I started this whole thing where I was like, people were like, oh, it's Friday the 13th. And I was like, it's a fucking number. It's a calendar date and it's a number. And then I looked it up. I was like, okay, I'm going to look it up. What does it mean? And then I like went into the history and I was like, but this is why. And then I looked up 666. What is that? The devil's number. It is crazy, all the things that we fear and the things that we're told to be afraid of that just have really rich, interesting history stories. And you read it and you're like, so it's kind of like Noah's Ark, right? And okay, for anybody that's gonna jump on the like whole bandwagon of she's like decimating the Bible, I almost went to seminary. Okay, I've read the Bible back and forth, back and forth. I have half a degree in world religion, and Noah's Ark to a point can be somewhat, I don't know about the whole world, but that part of the world certainly saw a flood. And there are certainly remains of that, but there are also, just like, well, let's not get into that. Anyways, needless to say, as I digress again, the scarab beetle and the lotus tree. I was so afraid to like this card, but it's one of the most beautiful ones in the deck for me. And so is this one. And I also love symmetry. I was like the little kid that ran around, and if I hit my arm on like a chair or something like that, I would turn around and I would hit my other arm on it to make it feel equal. That's how OCD I am. So needless to say, doing what I do, moving every 7 days, having to deal with like every type of personality in these places has kind of mellowed me out, as well as the flying, But that being said, I guess where I'm really going with this Gemini is that it may not feel like it right now. And with all the planetary shifts, and especially the ones, there's a lot of planets exiting our sign, right? The sun just left our sign. Mercury, I don't know if it's spinning backwards back into it or forwards of it. Venus was sitting there for a hot minute. I don't know about the other ones, but I'm just talking about if you're feeling it, I'm feeling it, we're all over the place. But this is one of the most positive, because sometimes we don't get a lot of positive readings, right? This is strong. This is hardcore. This is like hang in there. And I just watched a really great reading. She's been doing them daily, which is awesome. I don't know if you've been familiar with her, but Water Baby. She'd kind of gone incognito, like doing some personal things and moving and everything like that. Now she's doing daily readings and including a lot of the astrology. So definitely go check her out. Obviously Santero, obviously Awakening the Spirit. I also love Water Star Vibes and Queen Cup. And yeah, I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to start kick this back off. You can check me out. I'm also going to be putting listings up over on Fiverr and over on Upwork. So you can catch me there. Those will be little bitty readings. The readings that, there'll be different rates for different things. But anyways, we'll see you soon. Bye. Love you, Gemini.